Moin, this is Timo Buske. I work for KDAB and I would like to show you how to optimize the workflow using KUESA Studio and the new Iro Materials. A typical task in a 3D project is to match a specific look or a mock-up rendering from a customer in real-time 3D. Let's take a look at the usual approach. To achieve a certain look of a 3D scene, the artist needs to follow several steps down the pipeline. To emit light and define reflections, a custom environment map is needed to match the look. Creating one of those is not trivial and requires some effort. You can render such an environment map in a 3D application like Maya or Blender. You can capture a real-world scenario with a camera and transform it into a cube map. Or you can use specialized software for that. Whatever you do, this can be a long process until you get the desired result. In a second step, the artist needs to set up and materialize the scene using that end map inside a 3D application. Some workflows even require you to go the extra mile and build up the scene and materialize inside an additional tool, like a scene builder or a designer or what have you. Additionally, you need to export to a proprietary format. But what you will see in the viewport of Maya and Blender can differ significantly from what you will see in your target application or in the designer. This is because not all engines provide real "what you see is what you get" visuals already in that early stage of authoring inside the 3D application. This usual approach is both common and, unfortunately, a worst-case scenario at the same time. Imagine you are not satisfied with the visual result or need to change something. The artist works on the environment map, does changes in the 3D app, if a design tool is required, re-imports and re-exports, and then builds the app to examine the final result. Even for tweaking just a property of the material, the artist would need to re-export and build or use a proprietary tool, and thus needs to have a big part of the pipeline installed, including the dev environment. So we have a long iteration loop here. In contrast to that, let's see the KUESA 3D workflow. The paradigm of KUESA 3D is to optimize the workflow. To meet the artist's requirements, KUESA Studio provides a set of materials called Iro Materials. Just a side note, of course, all other materials of KUESA, like the PBR material, meet the same requirements and can be used together with Iro Materials in KUESA. With Iro Materials though, instead of creating an env map and tweaking a material to meet the visual requirements, the artist is painting the result directly. Iro Materials are fully integrated to 3D applications like Blender. This gives the artist real-time preview in the 3D viewport of the 3D app, and additionally full and exact "what you see is what you get." Now the artist can be sure the visual output in the 3D app is exactly the same as in the target app. When the artist changes a parameter of the material, he will get direct visual feedback in real time in the app during modeling. To examine the result, there is no need to export anymore, and there is no need for rebuilding the target app anymore. During the design process, the artist is not leaving content creation tools like Photoshop or Maya and thus does not need any dev environment installed. The iteration loop we had before is reduced to the bare minimum. In this way, KUESA 3D provides full separation of both the 3D artist's and the developer's workflow. Apart from all that, Iro Materials are highly performance optimized. They are much faster to compute and thus leaves us at a lower risk when developing for low-end embedded hardware. I hope this video has been of some use to you. Thanks for watching.